I never thought the biggest battle of my life would be fought on a cul-de-sac against a woman armed with laminated bylaws and a fake smile. After 30 years in uniform, 3 brutal deployments, sand in places sand should never be, I finally came home for good. I picked Birchwood Commons because the brochures promised order, perfect lawns, zero drama, the kind of place where the only thing that ever disturbed the peace was a rogue leaf blower on a Sunday. I wanted quiet mornings with coffee on the porch and the flag I'd earned the right to fly snapping gently in the breeze. Day 4, I hung that flag. Regulation size, brass grommets, mounted exactly 6 inches below the light fixture. Looked sharp. Felt right. Next morning? Bright yellow violation sticker screaming across my front door like fresh graffiti. Flag display violates section 4.3, remove immediately. I laughed, actually laughed, then opened the bylaws on my phone. Nothing. Not one word banning the stars and stripes. I filed the polite architectural request anyway. 2 weeks later, denied. No explanation. Just Karen Hale's looping signature at the bottom like a royal seal. You'll meet Karen in a second. First, you need to understand the chill that crawled up my spine the first time I heard her voice stretch my name like taffy, Mr. Hale. She never got my real last name right on purpose. She ran Birchwood Commons like it was her private duchy and the rest of us were serfs who forgot to curtsy. It stayed small and stupid for a while. Grass half an inch too tall, $1.50 fine. Trash can visible for 90 minutes after pickup, another $50. Mailbox wrong shade of black. I fixed every single thing, thinking compliance equals peace. Veterans are good at following orders, right? Then I made the mistake of wearing my old service jacket to grab the mail on a cold morning. Faded name tape, unit patch on the shoulder, nothing flashy. Karen rounded the corner with her little white dog and froze like I'd stepped out in full dress blues with a rifle. "We don't do that here," she hissed, flicking her manicured hand at my chest. "This isn't a military base. That kind of thing makes people uncomfortable." 30 years. 3 purple hearts. And my jacket made Karen uncomfortable. That's when the mail started disappearing. Bills never arrived. Birthday cards from buddies in Fayetteville, gone. Then the VA checks stopped for 2 straight months. I called the post office. The clerk lowered her voice, "Sir, you're the 4th Birchwood Commons resident this month." 4th. I set up my own routine, hit the mailbox the second the truck rolled away. Sometimes full, sometimes empty even though tracking said delivered. Friends mailed me coffee beans from Hawaii, nothing. My daughter sent an envelope thick with photos of my newborn grandson. Tracking, delivered 6:14 p.m. mailbox, empty. Then Tom Ramirez, quiet dad 2 houses down, knocked one evening looking like he'd seen a ghost. "Sir, you need to see this." He'd put up a doorbell cam after his kid's bike vanished. He pulled up the footage. There was Karen Hale at 5:52 p.m., bold as brass, flipping through my mail like it was her Sunday circulars. She slipped 3 envelopes into her designer purse. Next clip, same time next day. Third clip, Karen walking to the park, casually dumping a handful of mail into the public trash can like apple cores. My blood turned to ice water. This wasn't petty citations anymore. This was federal mail theft. Tom sent me every file. I backed them up on 3 drives and called the police. Detective Lopez showed up the next morning, watched 30 seconds of video, and said the exact words I'll never forget, "Mr. Hale, we're calling the Postal Inspectors now." 3 days later I'm at the mailbox again, force of habit, when Karen struts up in her power heels, fake sweet smile dialed to 11. "Finding everything you need, Mr. Hale?" I decided to smile back. "Actually, no, Karen. Seems an awful lot of my mail has gone missing. VA documents, family photos, federal checks, funny how it all vanishes right after delivery." You wouldn't know anything about that, would you? Her left eye twitched. Just once. How would I know about your mail? She laughed, brittle as October leaves. Maybe you're just not as important as you think you are. Not everyone gets thank you cards for just doing their job. The jab landed, right on the scar tissue from too many welcome home parades that never happened. But I kept my voice level, almost gentle. Funny thing, Karen. Some of what's missing is federal property. And federal crimes tend to bring federal consequences. That's when the mask shattered. You military types always think you're so special, she exploded, voice cracking across the cul-de-sac. Always expecting praise, discounts, sympathy, the world doesn't owe you anything. Neighbors appeared on porches like whack-a-moles. Phones came out. I never raised my voice. I'm just asking for the mail that's legally mine, Karen. You don't deserve any of it, she shrieked. All those government handouts, disgusting. Tom stepped forward, phone recording. We all heard that, Karen. Her face went the color of printer paper. She spun and marched away, heels stabbing the pavement like exclamation points. 2 days later the street filled with unmarked sedans and one very official postal truck. I watched from my porch as agents carried out box after box of stolen mail. 63 pieces just for me. The grandson photos were creased but safe. Karen came out in yoga pants and handcuffs, still yelling, "This is ridiculous. I'm the HOA president, do you know who I am?" I was protecting property values. The officer closed the door on her screams. The car rolled away. And for the first time in months, the neighborhood sounded quiet. Real quiet. Neighbors I'd never met brought casseroles, apologized, admitted they'd been terrified of her too. The new HOA board issued a public apology and repealed half the bylaws in one meeting. The story hit the local news that night, HOA president arrested for stealing veterans' mail. Went viral by morning. A state senator called, turns out I'd pulled his son's unit out of a burning Humvee 25 years ago. He remembered my name. Court was standing room only. When the judge read the charges, mail theft, obstruction of correspondence, civil rights intimidation, Karen's lip trembled. Prosecutor laid out the videos, the trashcan photos, Tom's audio of her meltdown. Bail, $50,000. Sentence, 18 months federal prison, 5 years probation, $25,000 restitution. As the marshal led her out, she looked back at me one last time, eyes wild, voice small. I was just enforcing the rules. Lady, some rules were never yours to enforce. I still fly that flag every morning. Now the whole block joins me on holidays. My grandson's photos are framed on the mantle. And every time a new neighbor moves in, someone hands them the real Birchwood Commons welcome packet. Ignore any leftover yellow stickers. We fixed that. Because real peace isn't perfectly trimmed hedges. It's knowing nobody gets to steal your mail, or your dignity, and get away with it. Not on my watch.